Hey guys, AJ here, back with another one. So today we have another episode of Motivation Monday, and this is kind of where I give my own advice about like how I think men can better themselves and basically live a more happy and productive life. Now, I'm not an expert, I'm not a counselor, whatever. I'm just a 42-year-old guy who's pretty successful. I travel, I'm social, I'm happy. And I just want to give my tips to how I believe that all men can be the same way. But today we're going to talk about auditing your friend group and getting all these toxic knuckleheads out of your friend group. And there's an article here by the Rise Above Lifestyle, and it basically talks about this. But before we do this, guys, please remember to like, subscribe, drop a comment. It really helps to keep this channel going. So, guys, I dropped a video about that Kai Cenat guy. He's some streamer that is in the news because he threw this party. I mean, this kid, he's tearing it up. He has all these millions of followers. He's making all this money. He's everywhere. But he threw this New Year's Eve party. And this knuckleheaded friend of his allegedly essayed a woman. And now he's all in the news. And it's like, guys, why would you work this hard to have some knuckleheaded friend of yours? And you might say, well, he didn't do it, but the fact that his name is associated with this. If you Google his name right now, certain negative words pop up. That's not good for his brand. All because he has some knuckleheaded friend of his who was his homeboy from when he was young. Guys, you can't do this. You can't. You cannot do this. You have to audit your friend group and kick out these idiots that are going to destroy everything you worked for. But anyways, this article is called "Audit Your Circle: Identifying and Removing Toxic People in Relationships." I'm not going to read the whole thing, but the author does make some good points here. He says 3 keys to a positive and supportive relationship would be. Now he's saying these are the positive keys to a good friendship. And he says, number 1, give and take of ideas. Now that's important because you always want to have guys around in your wolf pack that are, you guys are exchanging ideas and you're figuring out how to conquer the world. It shouldn't be just you throwing stuff out there and then, either riding off your ideas or shooting everything down. That's not good, right? Some of the best ideas, some of the best that I've ever had came from a mutual exchange with a friend of mine. We're out there, just shooting the stuff and chopping it up, and then all of a sudden we have an idea, So, number 2, lack of judgment. Now, I don't know if I agree with this one. Because men, we judge each other all the time, right? If one of your friends is getting fat, you're like, dude, what are you doing? Get in the gym. If one of your friends is getting played by a chick, you're like, dude, what are you doing, right? If one of your friends is gonna do something dumb and make a really stupid investment, guess what? It's up to you to, yes, judge them and tell them that what they're doing is probably not a good idea. So I don't know if I agree with this second one. Now, he does have the caveat. You will notice that each of these are dependent on the other two. So without one of these 3 missing, the other 2 won't happen. It is what it is. And then number 3, general respect for your positions. I agree with 1 and 3. Because number 3 is, look, guys, I have friends of mine that are diametrically opposed to me politically, but we still talk. We're still cool. We'll go out, have beers, chill, play Call of Duty. Who cares? You know what I mean? But I respect their position and they respect mine, right? That is the most important thing. As long as I know that they've come to that position somewhat logically, I can respect them. And as long as I know that they respect my position, I'm okay with that. But someone who doesn't respect your position, don't even talk to them anymore. And also, guys, we have to understand that as men, we have the benefit of really simple social interactions. whereas women don't, right? They have all these cues and all this stuff where and they end up not liking each other. Men, we just go out, play video games, play baseball, football, drink beer, and we can be friends for years, right? So then he goes down to a bunch of traits that he says is not good to have around. He says, if they suggest that if you'd only follow their ideas, you'd be better off for it. Yes, that type of person, guys, you do not want in your circle because they don't respect you or your position, right? I know what's best for you. As a man, you don't want any random dude just going, man, you don't know crap, and I know someone in your personal life who's saying that. No. The supportive or encouraging comments are infrequent, while criticism and fear-based questioning occurs much often. So basically, you don't want anyone in your friend's circle that's always talking trash. And then never ever, like, if you get a promotion, they should be saying, hey, good job, bro, which may make sense, right? They frequently suggest that you're being unreasonable for disagreeing when nothing is really at stake. And that's a real woman thing to do. So, guys, you don't really want someone like that, a guy like that around you, right? You're being unreasonable because you don't want to, you don't want pepperoni on your pizza. I mean, what kind of dude does that? That's ridiculous. They frequently ask for support, whether emotionally, financially, or otherwise, while rarely giving it back. Guys, that's a huge one. Never have a bum in your friend group. Ever. There's two types of guys that this reminds me of. There's the one guy that's always trying to bum rides and bum money from you. No. And then the other guy that's always with a girl, and we all know this guy, and then he breaks up with her and he comes around, hey guys, what's going on? Yeah. And then he gets another girlfriend and he's out of there. No. Another one. They are uninterested in what's important to you in life or what your principles are. That's a big one, guys. If you are for accountability, success, competition, you know what I mean? You cannot be friends with a person that's opposite of that. If being successful and being, having money and everything you want is important to you, and someone in your friends group is, well, I just want to be a socialist or whatever. Nah, dude, you got to kick them out, right? This is a big one too. They do not monitor their own habits and behaviors, but instead monitor yours. And guys, this is a big one that's popping up with millennials and Gen Z. I notice more and more. See, men used to use other men's success as motivation. So you would have that friend of yours that has a Lambo. Oh man, I'm gonna work for a Lambo, or oh man, there's a guy on Instagram and he's buff. I'm gonna get buff. You know what I'm saying? Now we have guys that are acting all, oh man, they're just hating, right? They're worried more about what you're doing than what they're doing. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to be successful. They don't want to, or this is kind of like that guy that's a cock block, right? So you and him go out. He's supposed to be your wingman. And you're pulling the hot one. And then all of a sudden he gets all mad and he just blocks you. And you're like, dude, what were you doing, man? Because he was more worried about your success than trying to get something for himself. Here's a huge one, guys. They have a victim mentality and exude negativity about your life's journey. This goes right along with the previous one. Nothing is worse than a victim mentality, guys. Nothing makes a man less manly than a they're out to get me type of mentality. It's the most ridiculous thing that I've ever heard. People who honestly believe that the world's out to get them, first of all, you aren't as important as you think you are. And second of all, you're just lazy and good for nothing, and you shouldn't have them in your friend group at all. And the last one here is they shut you down when you express concerns about the imbalances in your relationships. And you might think that this is kind of sounds like some girly stuff, but there are some guys where they cross your boundaries like Rick James. You know what I'm saying? They step across the line habitual line steppers. You know, and these are the guys where look if you warn them, look, man, if you come to my house and just spill beer and act stupid, or if you talk to my other friend this way, or if you set a boundary and they don't, and they try and shut you down, oh, you know what you're talking about, bro. Kick them out. You don't need them, dude. You don't. You know? So, guys, if you have a bad feeling about some of the friends that you have, or if you feel like you're moving along in life, and your friends are holding you back, guess what, guys? You should do an audit of your friend group. You know, once a year, once every couple years, I don't know, you know? But you need to do them. Because oftentimes the guys who you think are your friends aren't your friends. Or the thing that made you friends, like maybe you played high school or college football, that's over with. And now you're older. You might be in a relationship, be married, you have kids. Maybe you have a sensitive job like being a cop or something. And you can't hang out with these knuckleheads anymore. You know? All right, you guys. Let me know what you think. This is AJ. I appreciate you guys. I'm out of here.